Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for anyone new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships. But if not, thank you for your continued support here. Today we are doing a message for the black sheep. So if you feel like you're a black sheep, then this is a message for you. This was a channel message. It came in like a lightning bolt last night, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I love that. So I knew I was going to do that today, and I'm so excited to bring you this message. We are going to be using the Wild Unknown Archetype by Kim Krans. I absolutely love these cards. I love any of the Kim Krans decks. They're just absolutely stunning. The energy is absolutely wild. But we're going to see what comes through with those today, okay? So with that being said, we're going to hop to our prayer and get this reading going for you. Oh, that's going to need a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Alright. My beloved source, this prayer goes out to any and all who come onto my channel. This is for those who feel like they've been the misfit, the black sheep, the outcast, the oddball, the ones that don't fit in. Today I ask that you remind them that this is their strength. It's being unique, being different, being one of a kind. This is how you designed us, so that we could be the rebels of this world, so that we could come and bring a higher state of love and this oddity against these constructs that have been built around us. So today I ask that you bring us clear messages that help us connect with this power within us, that help empower us to be the most aligned version of ourselves, and to let go of the shell, to let go of the mask, to let go of the fear that's holding us back, that we may stand strong and that we may fight for our right to be who we are in this moment, and that we deserve to be heard, we deserve to be seen, and that there is nothing wrong with us being our weirdly unique, amazing, beautiful selves. I ask for this reminder for all who need that at this time. Touch our hearts with love and embrace us on this journey with comfort and peace. As these words are spoken unto this space and among this tribe, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Aseh. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my beloved source. Thank you. All right, let me get this set up. Possibly. Okay, there we go. We got it. I have already given these a shuffle. My hands are kind of small, and so these are hard for me to hold on to, so I shuffled them prior to this, and we'll see what comes out, okay? So, source, for pile number 1, what Wild Unknown Archetype is going to help us better understand the message for the black sheep? Pile number 1. Okay, thank you. Source, for pile number 2, what Wild Unknown Archetype is going to help us better understand the message for the black sheep? Pile number 2. For pile number 2, source. Wow, that was weird. Okay, too many. Message for pile number 2, source. 1 card, please. I have to take off my ring. It's not letting me shuffle. That's too many. For pile number 2, source. For pile number 2. Okay, they want this one. Thank you. All right, for pile number 3, source, what wild unknown archetype is going to help us better understand the message for pile number 3, for the black sheep, pile number 3? Okay. On the bottom, we have the dead end. Right. This is interesting because this is giving me energy like it's no longer good for us to stand in this place of feeling ostracized just because we're different. We have to stand up and say enough is enough, that it's our right to be different. Right? So let's put that over there. Okay. For pile number 1, we have this beautiful piece of rose quartz for you to choose from. Okay, for pile number 2, we have this beautiful shell. And for pile number 3, we have this rhodochrosonite for you to choose from. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and whichever pile you feel drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And I will see you over there. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of rose quartz, or if you were drawn to this wild unknown archetype card during the draw, then this is going to be your black sheep message to you. First, I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. For anyone new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience, that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into your message. If you feel like the black sheep, we're going to find out what the message is to you. So source, what is the black sheep message that you have today for pile number 1? Source, what is the black sheep message that you have for pile number 1? What would you like to tell them, those of pile number 1 who feel like a black sheep? What would you like to say today, source? Okay, so we've got the 11th house, Sagittarius, and Venus energy. Your life is meant to be an adventure, right? There's no right or wrong to doing what you're doing, but the more that you embrace yourself and the more that you see that you are this beautiful person who can attract to you whatever it is that you desire, the more you open up to the truth of the adventure that is life, and you'll actually connect with people along the way that will feel like home to you. They'll feel like, oh my gosh, I've known this person for a long time. I've been connected with this person before. But they're saying here that the more optimistic that you are, and the more that you choose to learn, and the more that you choose to expand your consciousness and to expand your abundance, right? Internal abundance, the more you'll attract in this outer realm, but also the more you'll feel stable and grounded in who you are, It's like you've spent so much time being misguided by others and people who have made you feel less than and people who have made you feel different, that the black sheep message today is to really truly embrace who you are in and out and give yourself that radical self-acceptance, that radical self-love. And this is how people find you. This is how your tribe is going to find you. This is how your soulmates are going to find you. This is how the people who are meant to be in your life are going to find you. But it really does come from allowing yourself to be seen as you are and to not worry about whether or not you're attracting good things, right? There's a balancing act coming through here. There's a message about finding that inner harmony and that inner peace and being okay with where you are. Letting go of focusing on money. That's another message coming in here. Don't focus so much on the money. Okay, money will find you. You don't have to go out and chase money because money will find you. This is about you just letting yourself be you, and the opportunities will come knocking on your door. It's been hard. It's been hard. It feels like everything's fallen apart. It feels like everything has had its way with you and you've just been left beaten and battered. And oftentimes that's what black sheep experience, right? People who feel ostracized or alienated from families and friends and the world in general. Life leaves us battered and bruised and on the side and not a care in the world, like, oh well, you'll either figure it out or you won't, and if you don't, it's no loss to me, right? And that's not what Source ever wanted for you. Source wanted you to be able to embrace your uniqueness, but since people were so important in our lives, it's hard for us to embrace our uniqueness when other people don't embrace it. And so now you've come into a state where you can consciously choose to let yourself experience you and get to know you. And that's the adventure here. And it's like, that's why life is meant to be the adventure. It's like, as you fall in love with you, you're going to find out so many things about yourself that you'd forgotten or that have been pushed by the wayside. And now you're going to open up to something much deeper in your heart and let that be seen. Well, let's see what comes through with the tarot to deepen this message. I was so excited to do this reading today. Like, seriously, so excited. All right, so Source, what is the black sheep message for pile number 1? Yeah. Your soul is trying to help you remember who you are. What is the black sheep message for pile number 1? This is especially true for those of you that might be a Libra or Taurus, Sagittarius in the 6th house and in the 3rd house, and Pisces in the 11th house, I heard. And if not, that doesn't mean it's not your message, okay? So, Source, what is the black sheep message for pile number 1? What is the black sheep message for pile number 1? Okay. What is the black sheep message for pile number 1, Source? Whoa, thank you. What is the black sheep message for pile number 1, Source? What is the black sheep message? Thank you. Source, what is the black sheep message for pile number 1? What is the black sheep message? Thank you. Okay. I'm actually going to take these as separate. Put that there. Okay, we're going to find out what's on the bottom of the deck. My apologies. My nose and my arm are both itching. Okay, ooh, we have the 3 of Wands in the upright on the bottom. You're going new places. Okay? The more you embrace yourself, the more you will experience life. And there are going to be people on this journey who feel like it's unfair that you have the freedom to express yourself. But we don't want you to focus on that. We want you to focus on choosing you. Okay, we want you to focus on the good things that you can bring to your life and not the bad things that have happened to you in the past. The people who haven't been able to give you love, the people who haven't been able to be there for you, the people who have really hurt you. We understand it is so easy for you to focus on that pile number 1. That is so easy to get caught up in that past energy and to let that be the rabbit hole that you fall down. But you're going to go places when you let this go, and you're going to go places just by choosing to be your unique self and to know that you're designed perfectly the way that you are. Okay? Wow. This is like next level right now. Okay, so we've got the Hermit in the reverse. Wow, we've got the Page of Wands in the reverse. Whoa. Okay, we've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse, and we have the Two of Swords also in the reverse. Okay. Don't trip. It's all right. There's been something here that you don't want to let go of. It's something that you've identified with so much. And I do feel like it was a sexual relationship or a partnership or something like that. But with the Page of Wands coming out, this really does feel like it was something that was very sexual by nature. Okay, something that was very immature, something that your emotional ego was trying to force you towards to feel like you belonged. And so you might have struggled with a lot of promiscuity in your younger days, or you could have kept going. It doesn't have to be promiscuity, but this could be kept an energy to keep going back to someone who you knew was toxic for you. Okay, and it's just showing that this is something that has been happening time and time again in your life, and this is what Source wants you to let go of. This person was an unfair situation in your life, absolutely. Right? It was something that caused a lot of havoc. It was something that caused a lot of chaos, but you were having a hard time saving yourself from this. And I feel like it's interesting that Source wanted me to take this as separate, not even to clarify this Knight of Swords. It was actually put it over here. And it's because it can't be up with the cards. It has to be down with the cards. And I feel like the reason being is because you have to move on to a different level here. The Two of Swords here is showing that this is something that you're going to overcome and get beyond when you finally let it go, right? But it's a mental state of not wanting to save yourself, of not wanting to heal this part of yourself, because this person did you dirty, or these people, this could be multiple people did you dirty, right? This could be multiple relationships that you had, sexual relationships. It doesn't have to be sexual relationships, but that's just the energy that's coming through with this Page of Wands. So I have to go with what the energy is coming out as. And we'll definitely get some clarifiers here in a minute, but this is just showing stubbornness here as well. With this Hermit in the reverse, we see someone who's refusing to do the journey, refusing to see the light, refusing to move beyond, because the only thing that they can focus on is this feeling of belonging, or this feeling of being needed by someone who wants to sleep with them, by someone who wants to have this sexual relationship. And sometimes the Hermit can point out hidden sexual desires, right? The Hermit is a very interesting card. But he also does represent sexual desires that we don't want to talk about. And so there's like someone here that maybe you had a very, it's like the sex was good. And I'm not trying to talk all about sex. I'm really not, but it's just that's the energy that's really coming through right now. It's just the sex was really good. It's like this person just left an imprint on you for like all of time. It's like, I'm never going to have good sex like that again. I've never had it before this person. I'm not going to have it again after this person. And so you're like hung up on this person, right? And this person forced you when they hurt you. I feel like this person forced you into being like a recluse of sorts, to hide from society, to hide from other people, to hide from trying to find love, to hide from trying to find your person, because it hurts so much. How could you give such a precious part of yourself to someone, and this person made you feel so ostracized and so judged and so different, like you didn't even deserve what they were giving you? And Source is saying, like, this person was so unhealed, right? This person was just coming from a very hurt place. They're coming from a very immature place. This person was coming from a place of, I'm going to hurt others before they hurt me type mentality. And what Source is trying to point out here is that if you keep holding on to these identities connected with this person, like, oh, I'm never going to find that again, like that will become your truth. But you have much bigger and better things to move on to with the Three of Wands on the bottom here. You have much bigger and better things to experience. You've entirely outgrown this process, and we understand that they've left an impression on you, but don't think that you haven't left an impression on this person either, because you absolutely have. And so right now, what's making you feel really isolated is holding on to the memories of this and reliving them, right? It's not about just the memories. It's about reliving them, thinking about them all the time, like reliving that process over and over again, right? But this person was very critical, and this person was looking for defects. Like they wanted someone to judge. And it feels like you were the brood of that, right? It was like the butt of everyone's jokes here. And that's what they're saying here is like, don't let that be what holds you back just because this person couldn't see how amazing you were. Yes, they left an impression on you, be it for the good, be it for the worse, maybe a mixture of both, right? But it's like, yes, this person left that impression on you, but you've also left an impression on this person. And we can't focus on that though, because this person has their own journey to really deal with. And as for this is something that continues to poke and prod at feeling like you don't belong, because you're seeing people around you find relationships. You're seeing people around you find happiness and contentment in life. And you feel like, man, I must be the only person who doesn't have that. And Source is saying you also don't know what goes on behind closed doors with those other people. And that's hard when we're only seeing snippets of life and they look so happy. Right? And I've had family that's done this before. They post the best of the best of the best pictures, but then when like I go to visit them or when they come and visit me, it's like so different from what they post. That's not who they are. What they post online is who they want to appear to be. And that's what Source is trying to show here. Like, don't get caught up in that. Don't get lost in that sauce, because that's not the truth. That's everybody's mask. They're putting their mask out for others to see. Okay, but it does feel like right now, like you're dealing with this. You've had someone who tried to control you. You've had someone who's very immature. You had something very heavy to deal with. And now it's important for you to set those boundaries with yourself. If you haven't set boundaries with this person, it's important for you to begin setting boundaries with this person. But if you have set boundaries with this person and you've walked away and you left this situation, now it's important for you to start setting boundaries with yourself and saying like, okay, we've left that situation. That's the past. And I want to move into a future that's bright and optimistic, Sagittarius energy here, that looks good for me and fits what I want, because that person has shown me what I don't want. And that's valuable. So start focusing on what you do want and focusing on the good that comes from that. And knowing what you want, having that clear vision will help you move towards that outcome, okay? This person was very misguided. They were losing touch with their own reality. And because they were losing touch with their own reality, it was like, this is someone who is like projectile vomit onto you, life vomit, okay? Like, I'm not trying to be gross, but it's really like that, because they were just trying to project their views, their thoughts, their feelings onto you. It's like, oh, if I can make pile one feel bad like I feel bad, then maybe I won't feel so bad. But it also left them, when you leave, or when you have left this situation, it leaves them feeling a lot of guilt and shame about that as well, that will end up either forcing them to heal, or it will force them into acting even more outrageous with the next person. And that is not your fault. That's this person's journey to deal with. So let's get some clarifiers. Source, can you please clarify the Hermit in reverse for us? Thank you. May you please clarify the Page of Wands in the reverse, Source? And I feel like this is also something that you've dealt with since you were a child, like family and friends who wanted to control you, family and friends who wanted you to believe everything that they believed, like they have a negative view of life and they want you to view life that way too, because how positive can pile one really get when life isn't like that at all? But just because they don't see it that way doesn't mean it's not the truth, right? You know that love is the reality of all things. And if love is the reality of all things, how bad are things really going to be? We have the Four of Wands. I don't take these in reverse, but it flew out in the reverse. It's going to clarify this, right? This is showing this is when the Four of Wands comes up in the reverse, it's just plain and simple. It's a romantic situation that has gone downhill. It's Romantic frustration, it's broken heart, it's being overwhelmed by something that was supposed to be stable in life, but we couldn't make it stable. And as it's coming over here and it flew over on top of the Hermit card, it's showing that this Hermit energy, this could be a Virgo, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Libra, Aries, Virgo. Is that everything? Oh, and Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, could be Taurus. It could be also, we have Aquarius and Sag energy up here as well. So I know that's a lot of signs, but again, this is for a lot of people. And we have this energy coming in. It's like, this is what they're saying. For it to fly over here when I was getting a clarifier for the Two of Swords, the only card to flip over and it flips out in the reverse, it's showing this is a romantic situation that's really got you down. And it was reminiscent of how you'd been treated in the past by family and friends. And it was like the culmination of that, something that forced you into healing for good, right? On the bottom, we have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, it left you feeling small and unwanted. Very fearful of life. Like, what if this is what I'm getting now, like, what potentially could the future bring? Like, how awful can the future be moving forward? And they're saying, this is for you to face so that you can move on from that, right? When you move on from this, and we have the Page of Swords underneath that, when you actually face this situation, and it's very mental, this has left you in a mental array, then you're going to understand that you're actually worthy of being committed to and having the good things that you want in life. Yeah, the Two Swords. This person was mirroring you. Look at this energy, like looking at herself in the mirror, right? But is she really in the mirror? And this is a very interesting thing to look at. It's like, this is supposed to represent the mirror of life. And everyone in life is a reflection back to us, even though they seem real and physical and, oh my gosh, they're standing there. I can touch them. I can taste them. I can feel them, right? I can hear them. I can smell them. But they're still reflecting back to us something within us. And that's what this Two of Wands is really pointing at here. It's like, there's this person who was very awful to you in life. And we're not trying to dismiss that by any means, but it was a reflection about how you were treating yourself internally, right? And so that's a lot. And that's what we were saying here. When you accept yourself fully with that radical self-love, you're going to see the adventure of life. And I think it's so telling that this would come out in this way. Look, I love the Knight of Wands here. This is the Page of Wands. Isn't that interesting? We have the Page of Wands over the Page of Wands. My apologies. It's the page. But you have this energy. Look at how different she is. Like, this is the darkest card in this deck. She's in this black dress. She's got these dark flowers on her. She's not, you know, she's trying to be seen, but she's not trying to be seen. There's all this gray around her. And it's like, this is just a very unique energy. It's time for you to be inspired to be yourself, right? Instead of being caught up in this energy. So you have the page clarifying the page. It's like going from the page in reverse to the page in the upright. You don't need someone sexually to make you feel like you belong. You need yourself to inspire yourself to be yourself in order to feel like you belong, because you already do belong. And what do we have here? The Moon card clarifying the Knight of Swords in the reverse, right? This feels very dangerous to face. This is something that definitely triggers you when you start to do shadow work in regards to this. This is something that brings a lot of emotions with it, a lot of fear, a lot of, you know, just, I don't know, I should shove that back down because it's easier, because there's a lot of deep emotions here. There's, you know, this, it feels like this is a different experience of your reality, and you're longing for something here. But you have to find those hidden strengths to see that you are a gem, right? A diamond in the rough. You're this treasure within yourself. And the Moon is also indicating that this could be from the mother wound. This was the culmination of the mother wound, the trigger that you needed in order for you to face the mother wound, to heal it. And so this goes back deeper, even to when you were a child, showing that this is something that was playing out in many, many relationships. Relationships that lack nurturing, relationships that lack compassion, relationships that lack just kindness and love. And it was like, why was that? Part of that's because you're not giving that to yourself, but that's a learned action from when we're children. And so you learn that, and we're seeing here with the moon being present that this is definitely coming out as the mother wound. So this is what Source is saying, is that the black sheep message that you have, and I love that you got this card with the black sheep message. This is saying it's okay for you to be seen. It's okay for you to embrace that shadow side of yourself, and it's okay for you to shine your light regardless of what that shadow aspect brings to you. That doesn't make you less of a person. That doesn't make you less of anything. It makes you complete and whole as the person that you were always meant to be, right? So let's get some oracles out and see what else is going to come through for you here. Okay, thank you. On the bottom, Sag is coming out. Optimism, exploration, and freedom. If you're willing to explore this side of yourself, you're going to experience freedom from the hurt and the pain that you had from the past. Okay? We've got the air and water dragon flying out here. It says, helps you to reconnect to higher frequencies, to trust your intuition, develop your psychic abilities, be open to enlightenment, and express your inner song. Be different. Be different, okay? Higher frequencies, that's like allowing yourself to be seen as you are. You don't have to be different. Black dragon from Saturn brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. Concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulate yourself, you have passed a test. And Saturn is the planet of tough love. Okay, this was a tough life lesson for you. It would really, really serve you to understand where your Saturn resides at on your chart and begin to research that for yourself so that you understand why it is that maybe you've dealt with these difficult situations in life. Okay? When I said be different, it means to let yourself shine, right? I said you don't have to be different, but you have to let yourself shine, okay? When I say different, too, it's saying, like, you don't have to let other people convince you that you need to be who they think you need to be. We have recognize the signs from above. Angels are sending you messages now, but you're too distracted to notice. Stay alert and open to the divine guidance. Okay, so Source has been trying to send you messages to help you heal from this. They've been trying to help you overcome this, but it feels like it's been really difficult for you to do so because of the heaviness of this. We've got Cheridwin and Balduin with 22. See the wonders around you and honor this incarnation. The here and now is the stage on which you will encounter and learn to love yourself. Oh, this is so powerful. I love this. And we also have number 22, which is already a synchronicity, the sign. Pay attention to the signs. And we're saying love yourself. And that's been the message this whole time. Radical self-acceptance and radical self-love. And then look at this purple and purple coming out. Look, they're not all purple. Like, okay, like there's a lot of different colored dragons in here. We have Aradia and Nis with 24. Aradia has spoken. Your inner servitude is over. Your beliefs and dependencies are melting away. I am awakening the magic that will free you. Know that freedom begins in thoughts. And didn't I say this is all a mental state? Earlier, that's what was coming through. This is all in your mind. It's your choice to hold on to it. It's also your choice to let go, right? But you have to make that choice. No one can do that for you. We can talk about it until we're blue in the face. But if you don't change that yourself, it doesn't mean anything. We have the alchemist flipping over. The light is a transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. And the shadow is misuse of the power and knowledge that came through spiritual practice. So trying to help you alchemize your life to manifest what it is that you want in this life. On the bottom, we have detective, great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth, and the shadow is voyeurism and falsifying information. So it's time for you to seek out the truth and not be afraid of that anymore. Whatever it is that you'll find, it's meant for you to find. Let's get a shadow aspect for this reading, Source. Thank you. Okay, on the bottom, we have devilish. Trouble follows them around, tempting, addictive charms. So this could be why you kept going back to this person, but this could also be something that was passed on to you from your mother too, is this trouble follows them around and always just getting into trouble, I feel like. And that's something that made you feel less than, because it was like Maybe you had to take the blunt of that energy whenever she felt like she was getting caught up or with her back against the wall. Wow, I feel like I can't talk all of a sudden. I've been fine this whole time, and all of a sudden I'm like tripping over my words. I feel like that's what it was. Like, you couldn't say how you felt in those times because it was too scary. That's what it felt like. Okay? And that's okay. Like, don't beat yourself up. Like, sometimes those are scary situations. On the bottom, look, we have intuition, sixth sense, intuition, subconscious. Okay, and the moon clarifies the subconscious and our intuition as well. So this is like all about listening to your intuition. Your intuition has been trying to give you what you need in order to heal from this. Okay, and last but certainly not least, let's grab an angel number for this reading source. Please have an angel number for this reading. For pile number 1, the black sheep message for pile number 1. The black sheep message for pile number 1. 333 resources. Material and spiritual abundance. And didn't I say that at the beginning? To build up your spiritual abundance, your internal abundance, wealth, resources, confidence, material gain, and epic romance. All that is good and pleasant in your life will multiply. Angels are sending you the number to reassure you of the prosperity and well-being ahead. Your surroundings will treat you with admiration and respect. Use it for good. And that's that soul tribe energy that was coming in. So 333. And then on the bottom we have 2112, new beginning. Hope, new beginning, fresh start, lifestyle, purpose, spiritual awakening. This is a call to action to move forward. The sooner you get going, the sooner you'll accomplish what you set out to do. Those with patience will eventually reap the rewards of their perseverance. So that's like kind of like, let's go. Let's move on from this. You don't need to hold on to this anymore. It's done. It's served its purpose. Now it's time for you to let go and heal from that and grieve the process. We have Taurus energy coming out. Trust, patience, sensuality, reconnecting with yourself so that you can magnetize what you want in your life. That alchemist process, right? It might take a while. It might be a slow process, but it's going to be worth your time. It says 40, you are ready for more. Your career is growing and blossoming. Now is the time to make the changes you've been contemplating. So I do feel like your intuition is absolutely telling you something here. It's telling you to embrace the beauty of who you are. There's a magnificence with your soul, and that's something you deserve to see and know as true. So we have the negative aspect is negativity, like a dark cloud above you, are depressed and extreme moods. So there's been like depression coming through that's connected to this, right? And so we're trying to help you overcome this negativity. Let's see what the Truth Oracle said. Breakup. Wow. Walking away, separation, and end. So again, clarifying that this was a breakup, clarifying that it was something that didn't work out. And then we also have finances, money problem, work, success, and fortune. Okay, so Source is saying, like, even though this was a difficult situation for you, you're about to receive a lot of good things in life. But I feel like part of it has to do with letting this situation go so that you feel really good about yourself, because your finances are tied directly to how you feel about yourself. And that's been a message that's been coming up quite a bit in quite a few of my readings lately. So I do feel like the collective is feeling this as a whole. But also pile 1, it could be you. Maybe you've been picking a lot of those piles recently, and that's just something that you need to hear. Like, your money is directly connected to how you feel about yourself. And I feel like it might be a little kick in the butt from your angels saying, like, we're trying to tell you something here, right? Follow the signs. Follow the signs, okay? Nothing rude, nothing mean, nothing like that. But you know, when they just keep giving you the same message over and over again, and you're like, okay, I get it now. So we're going to see what your card is. I'm going to read this from the book. Oh, we have the Lover. Look at this. I think somebody's about to come in for you, pile number 1. Like, I never focus on love readings. That's not the purpose of my channel. I will do them every once in a while, but really the focus is all about our healing and our growth. And so I love when love comes through. So we have the Lover. It says, when you hold someone's gaze for several moments, you'll feel the lover within you awaken. It is common to seek the lover in another. The true gift is finding the lover in yourself. Again, that clarification to love yourself. It says the lover archetype is present everywhere, not just where conventional forms of pleasure and beauty are found. The lover's awe is unconditional. The message is the heart, the beloved, the devoted. Pulsing through the heart of the lover is gratitude. The lover appreciates and experiences the world through the senses, reveling in beauty, song, art, music, sense, and sensuality. This energy awakens at the tip of your tongue when we taste the sweetness of honey, kiss a lover, or speak gentle words to a child. The lover lingers in foreplay, aroused not by the getting there, but by the slow merging of self and other. This energy is usually experienced for short periods of time, as in order to feel it, we must be fully present and awake with no exceptions or rules about what should be. Rather, the lover is in awe of what the world presents, reveling in the glorious details, grateful to savor every last drop of life's offerings. When in light, it's the connection, expansion, and devotion and awe. When dark, it's indulgence, attachment, and obsession. And that's the feeling that we've been getting, that attachment energy here, right? It says, go deeper, contemplate Aphrodite, Krishna, and Radha. Radha. Radha? Yeah, Radha. Okay. So this has been really, really straightforward. That's why I was saying, like, I kept feeling like this had to do with someone that was a sexual partner at one point in time. And so with the lover coming out, we do see that as the culmination of the reading, right? But the main message here for you as feeling as the black sheep is to learn how to give yourself that radical self-love, and that will set you free and bring in all this abundance. This is like a downfall, a windfall of abundance coming in. Okay, so this is what I see here for you, pile number 1. If you felt like this was your message, leave the little swan emoji down below and say, I choose to radically accept and love myself, knowing that as I feel good, I can manifest anything I want at the drop of a hat. And if you felt like it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member. I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here, but I do want to take a quick second to thank your guide, your spirit messengers, your angel source, my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 1, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful seashell, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your black sheep reading, or the black sheep message reading for you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. For anyone that's new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. Should these messages happen to resonate with you, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out, what are the black sheep messages for pile number 2, source? What would you like them to know? What are the black sheep messages for pile number 2? What would you like to come through, source? What are the black sheep messages for pile number 2? All right, so we've got the 12th house, we've got Pisces energy, and we have the sun. Okay, what's hidden will be illuminated. I feel like this is actually referring to your internal gifts. You may have closed yourself off. Wow, come back, sun. You may have closed yourself off from your gifts when you were growing up because that's what made you feel like the black sheep. You may have been alienated against your family, said things about you being able to, talk to spirits, or being able to have psychic visions, or being able to predict certain things, or having the gift of intuition and just knowing things, right? Claircognizance. It's like Clairsentience, like maybe they just really made you feel like this was something that was completely unacceptable, or you had very vivid dreams and some of those dreams would come true, and it was always this energy of just like your gifts having to be hidden and they were bringing you shame. And it wouldn't surprise me, pile 2, if many of you, not all of you, this is not going to resonate with everyone, but it wouldn't surprise me if many of you grew up in very staunch religious homes where that was completely unacceptable. Right? Like where that's something that's a sign of, and not to use this lightly, but the sign of the devil, or like, oh my gosh, like if people found out that you had these abilities, we would be, you know, kicked out of church, or we wouldn't be welcome back. And so you can't be that way. And that's what it feels like here. And, you know, it's like, could be that people tried to make it seem like it was all a part of your imagination. And I feel like slowly through the process, Source is helping you through your healing, is helping you come back to this place of where what was once hidden is now going to be illuminated, and there's no going back, right? There's, once it's illuminated, like that's it, you're gonna be like, holy moly, like this is actually an incredible gift, and I can't believe like my family was so ashamed of it. And, you know, it's their journey. That's their journey to contend with. But I really feel like it's something that's it's gonna surprise and shock you. And it's going to make you feel really good about yourself as well, while also bringing a little bit of fear and having to face that shame as well. And that self-blame and that regret and that guilt that maybe you carried. And I feel like the guilt came from not the fact that you had the gift, whereas yes, they could have made you feel guilty. I feel like the main guilt comes from you choosing to step away from this, from yourself, right? And so just remember to forgive yourself here. Remember that it's so important to love yourself fully. But I feel like for you, pile 2, it does feel like forgiveness. It's like there's this sense of like, I really have to forgive myself for, you know, stepping away from my truest self at that time. And that was what I could do with what I knew how to do and in the situation that I was in. And I didn't know any better. Otherwise, you would have done better, right? And so this does feel like this is something that does reflect the way that you show yourself out to people. Oftentimes, you may hide this aspect of yourself. Oftentimes, you may you know, shy away from saying certain things to certain people when you're getting that intuitive nudge or that poke from Source. And, you know, for others of you, you maybe have gotten to this place where you're saying that out and you're doing what you need to, but there's still that sense of guilt that's coming up from underneath, especially with 12th house and Pisces here together in this mix. And it's just showing that you have this ability to truly forgive yourself. And then as you forgive yourself and embrace that forgiveness of self, this is going to illuminate even more your gifts, right? And how much there really is that was buried. Like you may be like, yeah, I am psychic, but you might not know how psychic you are, right? And that sounds so silly because it's like, no, but I'm psychic. And it's like, yeah, but you know, there's psychics and then there's like incredible psychics and then there's the psychic mediums, and it's like you may be saying you're a psychic and you could be a psychic medium. You may be a medium who doesn't realize that your dreams are actually visions. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's a part of it that's not really yet connecting with the whole is what it feels like here. But let's get some more on it. Okay, Source, what is the message, the black sheep message for pile number 2? What is the black sheep message for pile number 2, Source? Thank you. What is the black sheep message for pile number 2? Yeah, the illusion. There's an illusion here that's been really like convincing you of something that's not real. Okay, so what is the black sheep message for pile number 2, Source? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Just casually flying into your reading. Not even flying, just casually jumping out. Yeah, the cards here, the way they're jumping out, it's like they're just casual. Okay. What is the black sheep message for pile number 2? Yeah, okay. All right, so we have this very interesting energy already, right? Your fortune, the good luck in your life will turn when you face the negativity, okay? okay? And find clarity within yourself. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. I can't with you. Thank you so much, Source. Thank you so much. Just showing this, actually clarifying the gifts that you have, right? These are very psychic gifts. You could be a Pisces. You could have Pisces in all the benefic places in your charts for psychic abilities, or water signs in those benefic places. And if you don't worry. It doesn't mean you're not psychic. It doesn't mean you don't have gifts, right? It's just naturally water signs are usually the ones that open up to those a lot quicker than most other people because of the fluidity and our ability to tap into that emotional well-being of self and others. But you're capable of seeing beyond the veil, right? And I love this depiction as well because the Tarot Marseille, this is Pope Jane. And Pope Jane was elected as a pope, but they didn't know that Jane was a man, wasn't a man. And when they found out she was a woman because she was pregnant and she gave birth to her baby, they stoned her and the baby to death. It's an awful story. I apologize. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here. Just trying to explain that the truth of this is being hidden, right? It's hidden from reality. It's hidden from you. You're hiding part of yourself because it was something that you buried deep when you were a child, feeling like this is what I had to do. Yeah, feeling completely spiritually defeated. It was like you may have been able to talk to spirits when you were younger and your family convinced you that they were imaginary friends. And in reality, you were like, but they seem so real. And they're like, yeah, that's because you have such an active imagination. And you're like, no, but like, really, they're really real. Like, they're very different. Like, I don't think I could imagine people like this. And they're like, yeah, it's just your imagination. And they're like, oh, or they would make you feel bad. Like, you're way too old to have imaginary friends. Like, you need to get over that. That's something you need to put to bed because you're about to become an adult. And if people recognize, you know, like all these shame on you, shame on you, shame on you type feelings. And so it's like feeling spiritually defeated here with the Chariot. And we have Cancer energy as well here. But we have tons of Pisces. Pisces energy, Pisces and Sag energy. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and Aquarius energy. Okay, and this is trying to peek out. Yeah, so we have the Queen of Coins here. This is where you find your groundedness, though, as in accepting your gift. Okay, this is what Source wants to tell you. This is where you ground yourself, as in accepting this part of yourself and not being so scared of it. Like, whatever fear that your family had about it was very negative, right? We see that here with the Five of Swords. It was very negative. They were very misguided about it. They didn't know how to come at it with a positive mindset because it was fear that was guiding them. It was fear of judgment, fear of like what this meant. And especially if you were in a very hyper religious family growing up, it was the fear of what that meant within the church. Okay. And sometimes that's the scariest thing for people. It's like living in this place of fear and, you know, they're like oppressing others because of that fear. And they're even oppressing themselves because of that fear. And, you know, fear is the furthest thing from love. Really, at the end of the day, there are only two emotions, and all of their emotions derive from those two emotions, and that's love and fear. And so fear is probably creating a lot of anger, anxiety, frustration, fear of judgment. All these things were coming onto play. And so it's like they had to project that onto you because it was you with the gift. And they didn't know they were oppressing you. Okay, like Source is saying they didn't understand what that meant for you. Because it was like you're oppressing a part of yourself. That's a part of who you are. And you're not even letting yourself be who you are because they were changing you. They were making you feel like you had to change. Like, oh my gosh, like I was born different. Like maybe I am marked by the devil. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I'm trying to use the example that they're giving me here because it's like, that's what it is. It's like they're trying to make you feel bad about the way that you were born. Like you had a choice. Like, yeah, I was a baby, so I had a choice. I mean, as a soul, you had a choice, but you know, it's like when you're a child and you've forgotten all about your past lives and you've forgotten all about where it was you were when you came to Earth and all that stuff and what you had agreed to, right? And you've forgotten all this. It's our job to rely on our caretakers to help us find confidence and courage in being who we are. But when they're telling you you should be ashamed of yourself, what does that translate into? Self-shame, self-blame, self-guilt, right? Like all these things. And that's why I feel like the self-forgiveness is key for you, pile number one, because it's just forgiving that like you didn't understand what this was back then, and you didn't understand how much of yourself you were locking away in a box because of everyone else's fear. And that's why it's okay to give yourself grace, because you were doing the best that you could with the information that was getting compiled on you at that time. It was like, these are people who were trying to change the situation, but they failed time and time again. And I feel like, so it was like, if being nice didn't work, you know, like if you were, they were like really gentle with you and that didn't work, then it became extreme. And I feel like some people were just extreme, right? Like you just went through extreme circumstances because of fear in general. And that's why it was like, they were just trying to change the situation. And for a long time, you didn't change because it was natural for you. Why would you change, right? It was natural. You were a child, right? But I feel like as you got older, maybe the ages between 5 and 10 are very significant for you. And that's where you feel like the most burden from life and the most burden from your family coming in. And they're saying that, you know, when you face this part of yourself and when you heal that and you forget, I feel like that acceptance of self as you are is going to really free these gifts up for you. It's coming at it with a space of clarity, with this logical thinking and a sharpness of mind, and deciding that I get the right to be me, and it shouldn't be any way else, right? And this is having that victory with stable achievements. Like there's nobody going to take that away from you. Okay? So you're already very wise. You're already very intuitive. You have these humongous strengths in this world. And you're becoming what they would say like a spiritual mother, even if you're a man here, right? It's just your spiritual mother based on the fact that you know how to be compassionate towards others and loving. But there's something here that's still remaining largely unknown in regards to your gift that Source doesn't want to spoil the surprise for you, if you will. But things are changing, okay? This is the closure of those cyclical situations that have been coming up. And also it's interesting because the Wheel of Fortune does, and I don't talk about this often, but it does hint at previous incarnations. And I think that that's so funny because, you know, it's like given that energy right away is like past lives coming through. Like you could be remembering past lives all of a sudden where you were a witch, or where you were a healer, or where you were a shaman, or where you were all of these things. And that's coming through. It's like you're remembering. And people, maybe you were remembering those as a child and people were trying to convince you that you were absolutely crazy and you better not talk about that stuff because people are going to send you away. And so they were trying to make you fear the things that were normal for you. And so maybe that's part of your gift as well, is to remember past lives and to help others remember their past lives. Maybe please clarify the Wheel of Fortune here. It's interesting, without knowing, they're actually made you stronger in life because you had to go through the downfall in order for you to rise, to get to the top, right? Source, may please clarify the Wheel of Fortune here. Okay, thank you. May we please clarify the 5 of Swords in the reverse. There's like a truth here that Source is handing you when you begin to balance out the masculine and the feminine energies within yourself. May we please clarify the Ace of Swords? Clarify the Ace of Swords, please. Okay, they want this one. On the bottom of the deck, like we have Temperance, Sagittarius energy. So Sagittarius, that could be a Sagittarius that you were dealing with. You could be Sagittarius or have Sagittarius highly aspect in your chart. 9th house, 12th house, 4th house, have Jupiter in any of those spots as well. Yeah, okay. But we have this healing, right? And there also is something very important about your dreams with this card coming through. And Pisces energy, once again, with the fish. Okay, so Pisces energy could be something to you. This could be a Pisces who is trying to keep you small. What's peeking out here? We have the Ace of Cups coming through here. Okay, so Pisces energy is very, very meaningful for this reading. But we have this energy of like your dreams, right? Your dreams mean something. And it's interesting that the Ace of Cups would come out with this. Like, look, what I was saying, all those past lives, and you're like holding little dolls of yourself. It's like you're remembering things that you've gone through. And so you could do something like past life regression, or that might be a part of your journey. And maybe like you go to a past life regression and all of a sudden it unlocks the floodgates for you to connect with all these past lives that you've had. But I feel like as a child, you were remembering past lives and you were trying to tell people, oh, you know, I did this or I did that. And they were telling you like, no, 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 you know, that's not right. Like, you shouldn't even be talking about stuff like that. Like, why would you bring that up? And you were like so confused. Like, okay. I feel like there was a lot of guilt that was brought onto you because of that. The moon. Yeah. There's still an aspect of this that's hidden. Like, Source is not going to reveal everything here on this reading because there's something that you're meant to traverse this path to find out to yourself. We do see here the mother wound and you being a spiritual mother. That's not surprising to me. You could have come from pile 1 as well. You don't have to. I mean, if you resonated with pile 1 or if you were called to watch it, you're more than welcome to. But just know you're never required to watch more than one of my readings at a time. But I do appreciate anyone who does, okay? So, but we have this aspect of the mother wound, and then that's why it's been so important for you to become the spiritual mother, like the guidance system for others in a loving manner and in a very unconditional loving way. And Source is saying like, it's okay for you to be that for others, but it's so important for you to be that for yourself. And maybe you have worked on forgiveness. Maybe that's been something that's been really important on your journey, but maybe through all of that, you forgot to forgive yourself. And you know, it's like, it's vital for us to forgive ourselves for the actions that we did to ourselves, not knowing what we knew now, you know. Yeah, we have the King of Wands coming out here. That's what I was saying. They didn't realize that they were actually making you stronger. Right? They thought that they could keep you small. They thought that if they kept you small, and maybe for some, like your parents were just trying to save you from ridicule. Like they were trying to save you from these things. I do feel like for a lot of people, they felt like you were an extension of them and they were trying to save themselves. But there could have been some here who really tried to have your best of intentions at heart, but not realizing that it was injuring you or hurting you. So you see, it's like when you accept your inner child, like all of a sudden, like all these things begin to come clear for you and you gain a lot of confidence from it. And also I just heard a lot of credibility as well. Yeah, and we have the Queen of Swords coming out, clarifying the Ace of Swords. You've had to cut off connections with a lot of people, right? And it's so interesting because if you look here, it looks like there's a little tornado where her pen is, right? Like she's riding so fast, like the words are on the wind. And that's what I feel like when you begin to uncover something about yourself from when you were, from your childhood, from when you were a little child, all of this stuff is going to come flying in and you're not going to be able to stop. Like it's just going to be coming out of you, whether that's the gift, whether that's a skill, whether that's a talent, whatever it is. But I do feel like it has to do with your gift. So you could be writing about your past lives. You could be getting it down so that you remember for yourself right now and remember that, you know, you weren't crazy when you were a child, or you weren't weird when you were a child. Like, this is something that's just a part of you in this incarnation. And if you don't believe in past lives and then suddenly this happens, you know, that's scary, right? When you've been raised to believe there's only one life that we live. And while that's true to some extent, energy never dies. And so you could be starting to learn about quantum physics. You could be learning about different modalities that are there for when it comes to learning about energy and like the different theories that there are, string theory, stuff like that, like all these theoretical things that they have, but that are so impactful for our knowledge and our journey as well, and reminding us how incredible this universe really is. You know, like Einstein proved that energy never dies, it only transforms. And so it's like really leaning into some belief systems like that, or really learning different scientific research about that. I feel like this is really hard for someone because all of a sudden I couldn't talk, and this happened on pile 1 too, where it's like this stumbling of what I was trying to say, and it feels like it's like certain things that are coming through is like really difficult because I was raised to believe this, but I don't really resonate with this, but it's like overcoming the fear to get to hear where I actually really resonate with, you know? So let's see what comes through for you here. May we please have some oracle cards for pile number 2, source? What more would you like to say? What more would you like to say? Wow, that's a lot. That one? Okay. On the bottom, yeah, we have square coming out. A challenging situation and a mountain to climb. Like, this was something that was very difficult for you. 22:22 on the clock. You've had to learn how to trust yourself and trust the process and realize the duality in life as well, right? Like, there's been a lot of dualistic situations that you've gone through, and I feel like that's absolutely helped with the way that you view life. But I also feel like it's that dualism that has kept you in maybe a victim mentality for a portion of your life, while also like switching it off and going into hermit mode for a time, and maybe even solitude, like isolation. You know, and now trying to balance that out. We have Lilac Fire Dragon, transmutes through the power of divine love. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. And so I feel like there's a lot of healing here, right? There's a lot of healing coming in. And opening up to love of self, and that, you know, forgiveness comes from love. We have Pure White Dragon from Orion, transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty, and let your wings of light grow and expand. And I feel like this is what I was saying, like, you're going to remember something from the past, and that's going to give you so much confidence and clarity, and it's going to help you be this spiritual mother, this spiritual teacher to others. And others are going to very much appreciate that in you. Let's see what else would like to come through. Thank you. On the bottom, we have angels of healing are with you. A time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. And he has the Moldavite crystal as well as the caduceus, right? And the Moldavite crystal comes from outer space. So again, this hint, it's something that's otherworldly that's coming in for you, right? And Orion, right? Orion is a star cluster. Orion's belt. So you could identify with Orion star seeds. You don't have to, but I mean, it's just this confirmation of being otherworldly. Other than this world, there's something else out there, and it's like maybe you've just been so stifled and oppressed for so long that it's like embracing that has been really difficult. Look, we even got Mars. Like, not all of these are from other worlds, but we got Mars 18. Understand that nothing is wholly good or evil, that even the strongest poison can heal in the right dose. So looking again at healing, but also seeing that maybe the poison that you received from your family growing up was actually something that was healing you in a way that nothing else ever would have. And, you know, I feel like even forgiveness of others right now is something that's very important on your journey, because if you're holding on to this resentment, and Mars, you know, Mars energy is very aggressive, and it can be very angry and very like overbearing and abrasive at times. And so it's important for you to let go of the aggression and come into a space of leadership here, which is the ultimate goal for your journey, right? And then we have on the bottom, Liama and Pushel with number 3. Be flexible in every situation in your life. Learn to concede in order to promote the light of peace. That's what I was just saying. Like, I feel like that forgiveness is so vital for you, right? Sometimes we have to concede. We have to let go of our anger. We have to let go of how we want to react to the situation, and instead respond with peace, with love, with light. And sometimes that's so difficult, and I understand that, right? Because like, but this person or these people, they did this, and we understand that, but it's what's done is done, right? And I've had to say this to clients before as well, like, no matter what, if this person came to you with an excuse as to why they treated you the way that they did, nothing that they said would be excuse enough to validate the way that they treated you. And so instead of holding on to that, knowing that, right? Well, we want closure. We want to know why, but there is no why that's big enough that would validate that for you. So sometimes we just have to say it is what it has been. Not it is what it is, but it happened as it was meant to, because there's no other way that it happened. And there's no going back and changing that. We can't change the past. You know, if we could, man, everybody would have a way different life, you know? But we can't. What's the shadow aspect for this reading, source? For my black sheep pile number 2. Black sheep message for pile number 2. What is the shadow aspect here? I feel like this has been really difficult for you. Like, even if you're on the spiritual journey, like, even walking in the spiritual journey, there's been a lot of difficulties with the spiritual journey because of this resentment, this heaviness coming from the past, And that's understandable. You have to validate your feelings as well, pile 2. Like, you have to say, like, what I went through and the way I felt, that's valid. That's valid. It doesn't mean we hold on to it. It means that we say, you know what? I'm going to sit down with my emotional ego, and I want my emotional ego to explain to me what it felt at that time and what it's still feeling in regards to that. And as my spirit comes through, my spirit's going to say, hey, it's okay that you felt that way. It's okay that you experienced it like this. Now we can let it go. You know, it's like the friend with their arm over the shoulder of their other friend. That's what you have to do for yourself. We have undecided coming in, choosing between lovers, competing for affection on the bottom. Yeah, so I feel like maybe you were pitted against siblings or cousins or other people in the family or even friends. Maybe you were an only child, but you had friends, and then you were pitted against friends because, you know, you were different and your family was more accepting of your friends. We have home, refuge, belong, and haven. Yeah, and so I feel like this is all you're looking for, is just a place to belong. You have to become that place for yourself, pile number 2, and that's not always easy, right? It's not always easy to do. The steps to get there are simple, sure, but it's not always easy to do. All right, on the bottom, we have photographs, photo, memory, souvenir, and card. This is a thing, it's like memories. These are memories of the past. This is also, again, clarifying that maybe you remember past lives. So it's like, it's very clear, right? Almost like as if it happened yesterday. Wow, this is interesting. Okay, so I picked up this deck and I didn't realize a card had fallen over, but it fell over and it landed on the Dragon Oracle as well as the Archangel Michael Oracle. And it's divine timing. Oh, there's 2 cards here. Wrong time, right time, and wait. And then we have pet, dog, cat, and animal friends. So maybe you find love with your animal friends, but they're saying divine timing is at play here. Like, and there really is no, what is it, the right thing at the wrong time. There's only ever the wrong time at the wrong place at the wrong time, right? No, they're just saying, like, don't get so caught up on, oh, well, maybe it just wasn't my time yet. It's just saying divine timing is at play, right? There's things that we have to go through to become the most aligned version of ourselves. And right now, the message for you is, like, in regards to feeling like a black sheep, is forgiveness, okay? We have gossip, awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. And I feel like this is exactly what you do. That's why you're becoming this spiritual leader. We have the shadow, thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information and betraying confidences. And I feel like this is what you've dealt with in the past. Okay, and that's just something that's coming through here. It's like letting it go. There's no reason to go back to that anymore. Let's get an angel number for this reading, source. May we please have an angel number? Thank you. On the bottom, we have 444. Overcoming obstacles, we have affection. Overcoming obstacles, soulmates, romance, affection, support, and comfort. Your level of self-control is sufficient to make things right. On the horizon is a possibility of beginning a new romantic or platonic friendship, as well as a chance to begin life anew with a person from one's past. Everything will fall to pieces. And this is always so interesting that this is what they said on this card, is they feel like everything falls to pieces to fall to place. Okay, and I feel like with this, and someone from someone's past. And so you may be connecting with someone from a past life, you may be connecting with someone from your own past in this life, but also connecting with past in general, remembering your past lives. We have Gemini energy, curiosity, intellect, and networking. It is so important for you to network as well at this time. Getting away from the people that are closest to you right now and connecting with others who have a similar vision will help you reground yourself. We have Archangel Michael says, all is in perfect timing. This is it. It's the time to take action now. I will be here to help you every step of the way. And that's so funny that divine timing was the one that fell out. And that's why I feel like they were trying to help me say, and I'm so glad that they brought a card out to say that this is it. Everything is in perfect timing, right? There really is no wrong time. It happened exactly as it should in that moment because that's how it happened. There's no other way that it went down, at least in this life. Right? It doesn't mean that it didn't go like that in another dimension, but at least in this life, this is the way that it went. We have Don Juan, spotlights your positive seductive qualities, and the shadow is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. I feel like people were using their energy for their own agendas in your life. Look, we have 1144, mood swings. Mood swings respect family, constructive outlook, and quality. Focus on your needs, desires, and hobbies. Everything is more accessible with a light attitude. You will be blessed with new opportunities, a new friend, or an addition to your family. Good vibes will speed up the process. So again, pointing at new friends, new soulmates, new love coming in. So someone is coming in for you to help you divert your attention from all of this, okay? We have public image, worried about appearances, can't relax, conceited. This is what I got at the very beginning of this reading. The whole thing with your energy, like whatever it was, your gift that they were trying to oppress, it was all because of this image, worried about how they would appear. That's why I felt like it was just that idea of church. It was coming through so strong, and that's not always the case, but that's just that was the example that they kept giving me. And then we have shadow, the other side, coexist, and reverse side. So this could be pointing at mediumship as well, but it's also saying to embrace the shadow aspect of you, okay? So let's take a look at your archetype card. I'm going to read this from the book. No, we have the shaman. Didn't I say earlier too, like you could be remembering that you were a healer, you were a shaman, and I think I said something else. I can't remember. I think it was your pile I said that in. But we have the shaman. Look at this. Oh, this is so powerful. And look, with the 3 skulls, and it makes me think like this could be the 3 threads of fate, but I do feel like this is just pointing to 3 past lives that you really are vividly remembering, you know, with the cosmos here and the snake, the rebirth, the death, the transformation that's happening here, and finding out that that's something that's very valuable to you in knowing. So that's number 16, way over here. Let's see. Okay, the shaman. It says, contrary to popular belief, the shaman archetype appears in every vocation. Teachers, directors, surgeons, politicians, and poets are just a few of the faces a shaman may wear. It says the shaman can't be rushed. Working with this archetype requires study and perseverance. Think of it like brining or marinating. The content must permeate every fiber of its being. Yes, and we have the magi, the sorcerer, and the medicine woman. 3 archetypal ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. First, the shaman is activated by long-standing and diligent study, the mentor. Second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed towards the healing of the self, the other, and the culture, the healer. And the third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world. And we have the other side here. Wow! Allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world, the unseen. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Yet where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. When in light, it's fearless student and practitioner. When dark, it's overpromises, blames, hurts self and others. To go deeper, you can read Black Elk Speaks and Michael Turker's Dreaming with Open Eyes Open. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so synchronistic to this reading. So yeah, you're remembering who you are. And part of that, you're remembering that you're a healer as well, right? And you're meant to help heal the shadow side of yourself. And I feel like really for you, it is about forgiveness. And whether that's forgiving others, but I really feel like for you, Pile 2, it's forgiveness of self. Okay, when you forgive self, you're going to know exactly who needs to be forgiven after that, okay? So this is what I see for you here. If you felt like this was your reading, leave a little snake emoji down below and say, by embracing my shadow and forgiving myself fully, I embrace the shaman, the healer, the medicine woman or man inside of me, and I let my light shine out into the world. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on membership. So if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave this there. I do want to say thank you to your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides, all for coming through to give us this amazing message. And until next time, Pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to this beautiful rhodochrosonite, wow, if I can hold on to it. Or if you were drawn to this wild unknown archetype during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on the black sheep message for you. I do want to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey, this channel, this ever-growing tribe. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. And for anyone that's new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and hop to it and find out what is the black sheep message for pile number 3, source. What is the black sheep message for pile number 3? What would you like them to know, source? What is the black sheep message today for pile number 3? What is the black sheep message for pile number 3, source? Okay, so we have the first house, we have Gemini, and we've got Pluto energy. I feel like you've been afraid to communicate what you want. Like, this could be twofold, right? This could be communicating what your needs are, what your boundaries are. When you say yes and you really mean no. And it feels like this is something that's been really hidden beneath the serpent. The serpent. It could be meaning something here, but it's been hidden beneath the surface, right? This is very subconscious. This is something that's very deep within yourself, that it's like, wow, I really wish that I could do this, or really wish that I could say that. But then when an opportunity comes up for you to do that, it's like you clam up and you say, oh no, like I can't do that, or I can't say this, or I can't be like that because, you know, it's going to hurt somebody's feelings, or it's going to be this, or it's going to be that. And so it feels like this is a limitation to your ability to communicate for yourself, right? Like, it may be easy for you to help others heal. It may be easy for you to help guide others. It may be easy for you to help do things for others. But when it comes to self, right, there's like this energy of resistance to it. And it's like getting stuck in the duality. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I know that I'm supposed to be the embodiment of all the things that I help teach others, but I'm struggling with that right now. Right. And there's like a little bit of inconsistency with that as well. And that could come from not feeling like you had a voice when you were a child. Right. And we're going to get more into that as we get cards out on the table. But this is what it's feeling like. And it's feeling like there's a bit of anger that's arising with that as well. Right. It's like fear that if I evolve and if I have this rebirth, like I'm somehow going to destroy either the connections that I have, or, you know, I'm going to destroy the people in my life, or I'm even going to destroy myself. There's something about destruction here. It could be destroying like self through the fear, right? Like fear is just driving you here. But it's very subconscious. This is something like you're recognizing, but you're not sure where it's coming from. And so there's like, I feel like Source is really going to work with us today and talk about how we can unearth this and help you stand in a place of empowerment and really speaking from a place of knowing that it is okay for you to protect yourself. It is okay for you to set solid boundaries. It is okay for you to say no. It is okay for you to do the things that make you feel safe and secure and not be in this constant state of fear of hurting other people, or being in this place of fear that, you know, you're going to lose people in this fear of abandonment, right? And I know that's so scary, because when we've been placed in situations like that, or if we've been told that when we were speaking up for ourselves or trying to set boundaries, that was us talking back, you know, it creates this split image within ourselves that it's okay for other people to set boundaries, but I can't. So let's see what else comes through here. I love all these messages. They've been so different and just incredible, like truly incredible. And while I get this set up, if you've been watching all three piles, leave a purple heart down below and just say I made it. That is always going to be designated for those of you that chose to watch all three piles. And if not, just know that you're never obligated to watch more than one pile. If you feel drawn to two and you decide to watch them, I appreciate you just the same. And even if you've only watched one, I really do appreciate you just the same. You all are so amazing. And whether you know it or not, every day showing up, you're making my dreams come true. And so I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. So Source, for pile number 3, what more can you tell us about this? What's the black sheep message for pile number 3, Source? What more can you share with us? What is the black sheep message for pile number 3? Yeah, it's like if someone came to you and they said, like, I'm struggling setting boundaries, I feel like you would have the perfect solution for them to help them set boundaries. But for you to take your own advice, sometimes you might struggle with that. That's okay. You're not alone. I used to be in that same energy pocket. That's something that I had to really face and deal with myself. So, and it's much easier said than done. I will absolutely agree with that. But this is something that when you face this, there's going to be huge changes in your life. You're going to feel really good about yourself as well, and feeling really empowered and like you can take on the world, right? So for pile number 3, Source, what is the black sheep message for pile number 3? What is the black sheep message for pile number 3? Thank you. Source, what is the black sheep message for pile number 3? Wow, okay, yeah, so family. I already see family fearing like you were going to tell everybody about the secrets of the family or put their stuff on blast. Okay, yeah. Wow, this is really heavy energy already. Let's see what's on the bottom before we get into these. We have the 5 of Cups. This is a thing, like, you're going to find, wow, with the 5 of Swords, if this is another 5, I'm going to laugh. Okay, and the Ace of Coins in the upright. Okay, yeah, so this is very much what I was feeling anyways. It's just like Source is saying, like, if you choose to network and see the positivity in your life and to know that it's okay for you to be seen. It's okay for you to be heard. I feel like that's the main thing here. It's not even about being seen. It's okay for you to be heard. Right? And when you network and you share your story or you share your experiences with others and you know that you're doing it because there are other people who need that, that's where the gift comes from, right? You're going to be gifted people on your journey who are going to be there for you, who actually want to listen to what you have to say, because what you have to say is very valid. And we do see that here with the dice, but the energy that I'm getting from the dice is just so like, it's like a fear. Maybe you have a fear of public speaking, or maybe you have a fear of sharing your story because your family's like worried about their dirty laundry getting aired out here with the Judgment in the reverse. Or maybe you have this fear of speaking because it's like everyone's always told you you didn't have anything worth hearing, you know, but that's not true. Like, you have experiences that are very valid and that can open the door to healing other individuals as well. And I feel like this is just so shocking, really, like, not for you, right? Not from you. It's just so shocking because it's like people who really think that the experiences that someone's been through isn't valid. Like, they themselves are not validating their own experience, or they're trying to be in this place of grandeur, like no one understands what I'm going through, and that separatist mentality is putting them in a place of, you know, projecting that onto others. And so we see here it's been very much peer pressure that's kept you stuck. It's peer pressure that's kept you feeling small. Okay, and this feels dangerous. Yeah, this feels like dangerous waters. Okay, it's like if I speak on my truth, like my family's going to find out, and it's going to cause a lot of issues here. It's going to cause a lot of upsets, and people are going to say something, or people are going to come and they're going to confront you about it, and they're going to make a big to-do and cause drama and cause a scene. And that's why I feel like there's a huge fear for you for speaking out your truth. And Source is saying, like, no, we want you to speak your truth. Like, there's a reason you went through all this. And part of it's that you agreed to go through all this difficulty so that you could help heal the world, the part of the world that's dealing with the same situations or things that are very, very similar, right? And it's like there's a lot of disturbing feelings that are arising here. There's very difficult emotions. You've already been through, or you are going through, periods of depression. Like, they come and they go. Right? But it feels like there's danger here. And it feels like the road is too hard. Like, if I share my story, that's so hard. Like, if I share my experiences, that's so hard. So it's easier to retreat. Okay? And so it's like the reason you want to retreat is because there's this understanding that there's something here that maybe should have been kept hidden, or that there was a lack of privacy, or there was just too much problems between you and your parents. There's too much noise and drama, and there's too much things that are playing out that aren't allowing you to embrace your journey, and that aren't allowing you to embrace yourself. And because of that, it's like easier for you to just clam up and not say anything. And it's like I said, it's a very subconscious thing, which we see here, even being clarified with the moon coming out in the reverse. That's why it feels so dangerous. Because at one point, maybe you tried to say, hey, I don't like that you guys say this to me, right? To your parents. Like, I don't like that you call me this nickname. And they're like, oh, you're too young to have a voice of your own. But then this began to create a problem. You know, one thing that happened in my family that they're showing as an example was I was too young to understand. My whole life I heard this from my mom. Like, no matter what was going on in our family, like, she's like, I'll explain when you're older. And so when my brother and I turned 18, 19, 20, 21, and even older than that, and we would ask things, my mom would still use this, you're too young to understand. It was like, how old do we have to be for you to explain to us what's going on with the family? It was a form of control, right? And so I feel like for you, that's a very similar situation as what you're going through, or what you have gone through. Pile number 3 is that it's like they gave you one cookie cutter answer. You don't have a voice. You don't have a right to have a voice. And it just, that became the go-to answer because it satisfied you when you were younger. And even though it kept creating a lot of dissonance inside, it was something that kept you from speaking up. And so as you got older, that just became the go-to statement. And instead of it, you know, creating that dissonance, it created a lot of anger and resentment inside. And maybe one time you blew up, but then when you blew up, I feel like you immediately felt guilty about it. Like, it was like, well, I'm the one that blew up. I should feel bad about it. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said this. But you see, there's this situation that's coming through, and this could be the mother wound with the moon here in the reverse, this is pointing towards the mother wound. But with the judgment here in reverse, this is also talking, this is your caregivers. Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle. This could even be older cousins. This could be older siblings. It's just anyone who is in charge of taking care of you. We see there's that drama, that noise that's playing out between you. And there's a lot of, I just heard there's a lot of bad blood. That's what I just heard. That is so weird. That came through. But with the Four of Swords here, we see it's a lot of peer pressure, and it's a lot of pressure put on your shoulders to be quiet, to stifle your voice, right? To stifle what you needed to say. And it's so interesting because let's look at this card for just a second, right? Look at how this rose has, or this flower has this little white collar before these little petals, and that's what it feels like it's like they put a collar around you and you had to stay small, and it was like if you grew you were going to get cut, but you knew that you had something that was worthy of saying. But then it was like as time wore on, you really believed that you didn't have anything of value to say. Like, oh, I'm not funny, I'm not silly, I'm not, I'm not creative enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not wise enough, I'm not experienced enough. Whatever the situation was, and Source is saying here with the bottom of the deck energy, when you move on and you network with other people and you choose to overcome this negative situation, because this was very negative. This was incredibly negative. When you choose to overcome this negative situation, then you're going to find that people actually see that you have this beautiful gift that helps them reconnect with their reality in various ways and brings a lot of healing, right? But look, it's unique. You're unique with the Seven of Coins here. Whatever you have is unique. You're the only person who can bring it. You're the only person who can discuss it the way that you discuss it. Like, no one has your viewpoint on whatever this is that you want to share, whatever it is that you need to share. And even your story, like however it is that your story is played out and how it's impacted you now as an adult, the way that that has changed your perception on life, that's something of value. And that's what Source is saying here. And it's hard because you've been made to feel like the black sheep. That's the messages that we're going after today and finding out what that means for you on your journey. And I left it open for Source to interpret whatever that was. It was just the message that I got in a meditation. It came in like a lightning bolt that I needed to do this reading. Someone desperately needs to hear this at this time. And so it's just reminding you that everything that has happened to you, when you validate, you begin to see that you are so worthy, right? And that you are here for a valid reason, right? You're here for purpose. Let's get some clarifiers. Source, may you please clarify the moon card here? Can you please clarify the moon card? Oh, yeah, the 10 of coins. Look, isn't that interesting? This is gonna, when you decide to not let the emotions rule how you speak and how you let yourself be seen, you're gonna see a lot of abundance come in from that, right? And this is like overabundance. When we have the 10 of coins, is like overabundance, but in a good way. But you have to run away from this belief that it's dangerous for you to speak out on the things that you've experienced. I feel like for you, if you haven't read this series, it's a trilogy. It's called, it's a young boy named Dave. A man, what is it? It's the Dave. There's 3 books. Okay, there's 3 books. It's like a young boy named Dave, a child named Dave, and then a man named David. And I think that's what it's called. I think if you look it up, you'll see it. But it's about this man who talks about his foster mother and how his foster mother was so awful to him. Like, just absolutely, it was horrendous. Some of the things that he experienced as a child was just absolutely horrendous. Like, she was like trying to poison him at points, and just like he found ways of surviving. And it's all about his survival from child to teenager to being a man and to blossoming as a man and overcoming these difficult situations. Oh, it was a child. It was a boy named It. That's what it's called. A boy named It. A child called Dave. and a man called David. Check that out. If you haven't read those, check that out. They're very difficult. But if you get through all three of them, you'll understand what it is that Source is trying to show you here. It's like the hope that you bring to others, the inspiration that you bring to others, the stories that you have, the hardships that you've been through. They're so healing when others find you. And sometimes it's like, well, but it's not that bad. There are people who've been through worse than me. That's not the point. The point is that you've been through experiences that when you're brave enough to speak out on it, it helps heal other people in a way that no one else would be able to. On the bottom, yeah, we have the Emperor. You're meant to stand strong, right? You're meant to be a leader. You're meant to help others see with reason. And this is something that can be very explosive for you as well. It's something that can take you straight to the next level. Let's see what came through here. We have the Sun, clarifying the judgment. Yeah. Here comes the sun, na 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 na. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Right? Like, it's supposed to be okay. It's supposed to be okay. You're supposed to shine a light on this. It doesn't matter how your family felt about it. What it matters is that you're validating your own experience. And they're not saying to go out and, like, complain about it and to not, like, you know, put on blast like certain things. What it is to explain your experience. Your experience is very valid. When you validate your experience, you heal others. And that's, I know I keep saying that, but it's just like, that's the feeling. But this is something that you're having a hard time dealing with. It's something that's like, well, but there's like always a well, but that's what I feel like here. And they're saying here, it's like when you come to terms with this, you'll be able to begin to let go of the hold that this has on you mentally and emotionally. Because I feel like this is weighing on you in many, many ways. And then we have the World, and this is the completion. You have to stop isolating yourself here saying, well, you know, it's not that big of a deal or it's not going to help anybody. You won't know until you start to share your story. And that's what they're saying. Like, you've been through a lot, but we're trying to encourage you to get your story out there. And that could be through writing, right? Communication, speaking on it, sharing the story through a podcast, through online, through a blog, whatever it is. It's like, just begin to start sharing your story. And you're going to find people who it helps, right? And that's powerful. That's powerful. Even if your family's all like, oh, you know, they're just airing out our dirty laundry. They just want us to be the bad guys. They just want us to look like, you know, we're terrible people. That's theirs to deal with. If you're sharing your experience of what you went through and everyone else has got something to say about it in your family, that's theirs to deal with. That's not your problem. That's their business. And, you know, most people are just saying it because they're fearful that people are actually going to see the truth of who they are. We have the 7th house coming through here. Profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. I feel like this wants to go here because I do feel like that's what they're saying is like when you start sharing your story, you're going to start connecting with people who are going to connect with you on a deeper level. On the bottom, we have Pisces energy, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. So I can't make this up. The last 4 pick a card readings that I've done, Pisces has come out on the bottom of the deck in all of those piles for pile number 3. It's kind of getting crazy. Like, it's been so consistent, right? So you might always pick pile number 3 on my channel, which is fine, right? If you're drawn to it, you're drawn to it for purpose. But it's just something that I feel like I have to mention because it's literally happened in so many pick a card piles, and it's always pile number 3. It is such a trip. So we have the Fire and Water Dragon. Enables your life to flow with loving force. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. Expect the unexpected and have fun. Exactly. When you begin sharing your experiences, things are going to shift for you. And, you know, I feel like with Pisces coming out as well, Pisces has a lot to do with guilt and shame and blame. And we saw that in the first 2 piles. It didn't really come up for you here, but I do feel like that's something to mention. There's like guilt and blame that's coming through here. And being ashamed of what it is that you've experienced. There's no reason to be ashamed of your experience. Your experiences was your experience. And that's a real thing. Okay, we have be honest with yourself. All of your feelings, even the difficult ones, have a message for you. Accept your truth, then let source take it from there. Look, this is very powerful. I feel like 555 is a very powerful number for you as well. Pile number 3. It is about change, right? It's about transformation and change. It's a very difficult place of change, but it's so necessary. We've got the cat joker. Hasn't made an appearance for a while, but here we go. Right? It says it is time to take action. You are now in urgent need of structure, order, and clarity. It is so vital for you to do this. This is where you find strength, foundation, and structure is by sharing your story with others in the way that you feel called to do that. Okay. So like if you're feeling like, well, no, I'm not being called to share my story, this might not be the pile for you, but this is for those of you that feel very much like I'm feeling called to share my story. Then however it could even be a painting, right? Whatever it is that's inspiring you, make sure that you're doing that. We have Lao Tzu and Sunshine with be careful with your words. With some you can harm yourself, so speak with love and positivity. Allow your words and smile to be your adornments. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't speak negatively to yourself, right? Let yourself be loved. You deserve that. And you deserve by giving yourself that love. It's like you've already been through so much negative stuff. It's like choose to see that you have a right to experience that by sharing it. We have God with the light attributes, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the internal force within yourself and others. Shadow is despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. I feel like you've come through this cruelty, this despotism, this other people trying to control you. I feel like you've overcome that. Right? And so now it's time for you to come into this place of recognizing the internal force within yourself first and as well as within others. Those who resonate with you will find you. They'll seek you out. We have the Samaritan on the bottom. Refine your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. And the Shadow is exalting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. And I feel like that's some of the fear that's coming through. It's like, well, I helped them do XYZ. They should just be grateful. You know what? You can be grateful and still people can treat you like shiznit. Okay, like I don't usually curse, but I'm just being honest. Right? You could be absolutely grateful for the help that someone's given you. You could be grateful for the life that they gave you, whatever it was. But still people can treat you like you're dirt. And it's like, okay, so I'm just supposed to be grateful for all of it, for the fact that you treated me like dirt, for the fact that you didn't see me as a person, for the fact that I didn't exist to you? I can be grateful for your help, but if you want me to be grateful for all the times that you called me names, all the times that you made me feel insignificant, all those times that you made me feel worthless, I'm not going to be grateful for that. Or maybe one day I'll wake up and I'll say thank you, because if it wasn't for all of that, I wouldn't get the success that I have in my life. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like we had taboo flip over. We have limit, crime, forbidden love, and curiosity. I feel like this is like the eye of the storm for you right now. There's just a lot. And it's like, I've reached my limit. I can't deal with this anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And so now's the time for you to focus on yourself. Okay. And so they're saying by you focusing on yourself, you'll get inspired in a way that's right for you to share your story. We have pet on the bottom, and I love that we have the cat joker and the cat on this dog, cat, and animal friends. So I do feel like your animals right now are something that are very vital to your journey. And that is okay. Own that. Let's see. Let's get a shadow aspect for this reading source. A black sheep message for my fellow humans for pile 3. What is the shadow aspect for this reading? What is the shadow aspect for this reading source? What is the shadow aspect for this reading source? Okay, thank you. On the bottom we have bad timing, too little, too late, not taken, not ready to love again. Okay, so it's like too little, too late. Like, I feel like that's the thing. The shadow, one of the shadow aspects here is like, maybe they're saying, oh, well, I'm helping you now, even though I treated you like crap when you were a kid or whatever. I wasn't there for you when you were a kid, but I'm helping you now. But sometimes it's just too little, too late, right? Like, you can't make up for some of the things that you've done by helping me But maybe you could start with an apology. But if this person hasn't, or if these people haven't come forward with an apology, what's the point? Right? And so we have to learn how to forgive without closure. That doesn't mean that I have to just roll over and accept everything that you're going to throw at me because you're too you're too proud to give me an apology, right? That's just not how it works. And I talk about forgiveness all the time, and I agree. It's like we have to forgive others to free ourselves. It's not about saying that I forgive you because what you did was acceptable. It's saying I forgive you because I can't change the past, and I'm not going to be held down by the anchor that this has caused in my life. Forgiveness is for ourselves and not for them. What's an angel message number that would like to come out? I feel like you're going to get 2 of these, so I'm gonna take it. We've got 333 on the bottom. This came out in another pile as well. Resources, material and spiritual abundance, wealth, resources, confidence, material gain, and epic romance. All that is good and pleasant in your life will multiply. Angels are sending this number to reassure you of the prosperity and well-being ahead. Your surroundings will treat you with admiration and respect. Use it for the greater good. So I'm saying when you share your story, when you put yourself out there, you're going to be calling in soul tribe, soul family, people who are meant to be in your life, people who want to follow you because you have something to give. You have something beautiful to give. We've got the deep blue dragon. Keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected. Walk on a path of light. And I feel like this is a lot that's burning away so that you can embrace your truth and speak your truth as well. With the blue connecting with the throat chakra. We have 38. Yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. Don't be afraid to express yourself. All right, so let's see the truth. Mystery, unknown, puzzle, illusion, and confusing. So you have to get through the confusing parts of yourself, right? Those things that you're piecing together right now so that you can see the truth of who you are, and that's okay. Like, take your time, forgive yourself, forgiveness of others is just letting yourself be free and be seen as you are in this moment. Like, we have secret past, skeletons in the closet, not telling the whole story. So here we see just a glimpse into the past as to why they were treating you the way that they were is because they had their own secret past. And they felt guilty about their own secret past, and it was easy for them to project that onto you and make it seem like it was your fault. But it wasn't. It had nothing to do with you. Okay? Like, we have 1515, intuition. Intuition, relating, value, insight, increased perception, love, and monogamy. Follow your gut. It's more than just a feeling. Be real with people and focus on meaningful relationships. Remember, you also must bring value to the table. Treat others with respect, or else your karma will bite your rear end. 3 is a crowd. Okay, so that's the thing. I feel like they're getting their karma right now for how they treated you, by realizing that they don't have access to your energy the way that they did before. Okay, and then we have 1001 with abundance. Manifestation, abundance. That's supposed to say abundance. It says abundance. Okay. Money, dreams, vision with Viston, and prosperity. There's some spelling errors on these cards. Just next level. Focus on the good and maintain your concentration on the outcomes you desire. It's time to put your faith and time into your ideas and pursue your goals with all your might. You have such beautiful, courageous, and brave spirit. Exactly. Like, it's time for you to focus on you. The more you focus on you, the easier it will be for you to share your experiences with others, okay? So let's take a look at your archetype card. I'm going to read this from the book. We've got the crone. Look, with the crow here, right? And the crone is the maiden. What is it? The maiden, the mother, the crone. This has to do with, I can't even remember right now. Oh, I'm tired. It's been a long day, guys. Give me a break. Let's just read it. But we do have number 13 here. 13 connecting with the nameless card, or what you might know as death. Talking about transformation, which connects also with Pluto. All right. The crone should be this one. Here we go. The witch. The old woman, the sage. Okay, it says the crone is the master of letting go and residing in what is. She rejects nothing. The crone is often seen with the crow, smoke, night, and the moon, and it says the crone has a difficult time tolerating superficial, petty, day-to-day musings. She moves away from such relationships and seeks a deeper path, even if this means a more solitary life. So moving away from these people is going to serve you, okay? It says the crone has seen it all. Nothing frightens or surprises her. She's the final manifestation in the feminine trifecta of the maiden, mother, and the crone. In her long life, she's witnessed endless cycles of death, sex, failure, rebirth, conflict, and regeneration, giving her the ability to rise above the world of duality. She laughs at notions of good or bad, right or wrong, as she has seen the earth churning, smoldering, taking life, and giving life. The crone energy accepts everything in, devouring beauty and suffering with the same mouth. Using their energy to reveal hidden secrets and knowledge, her energy resides in all of us. Though it is feared by most for its power and unconventional relationship with death and the macabre, awakening the crone is dangerously rich and unapologetically magic. Wow, I love that. When light, it's magic, clairvoyant, psychic, intuitive, wise. When dark, vindictive, bitter, isolated, and ostracized. To go deeper, you can check out Dhumavati, Hecate, and Baba Yaga, as well as Lilith. Okay, so this is saying exactly that. It's like you're going to be sharing secrets about yourself, but it's important for you to share those secrets because that's where your knowledge has come from, right? To reveal hidden secrets and knowledge. But it's all because of the suffering and as well as the beauty that you've been through life that you're able to give this gift to others in such a unique way. This is that huge transformation going from the maiden, right, the virgin, to the mother, to the crone. This is someone who's seen it all, experienced it all, and is not affected by anything that comes their way. And I feel like that's what you're moving into. That's what Source is trying to help you move into and away from the black sheep mentality. It's okay for you to be a black sheep. There was a reason you went through the hardships that you went through. And again, it feels like so you could share your story. So there's no reason for you to fear your story anymore. Remember that you are protected, okay? So this is what I see here for you, pile number 3. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little crow emoji down below and say, I trust that my past is the gateway for me to experience the present moment with abundance and grace, knowing I am deeply protected. And if it resonated, it would mean so much to me if you were to like, comment, subscribe below. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at Scatter Love Radio. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you so much for your continued support here. I myself am going to go ahead and leave this here, but I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides, all for coming together to give us this incredible message. Just know that you are so loved. Pile number 3, I'm giving you this big, gigantic, energetic hug. You deserve it so much. You're an amazing soul, and I'm truly honored to be connecting with you. So until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.